I believe in the vehicle of the LSC as being a vehicle for improvement, but a school does not improve unless it has a dynamic principal. That's the key. It is equally important, however, that, in my opinion, that local elected officials do not get involved in the business of appointing principals, and do not get significantly involved in taking over LSCs. The LSC process, when they created the law in Springfield, it was a room similar to this, with all the disparate groups that were involved in education, and it was in Madigan's office, and it took months, and it was a painful process. But the one salient point that kind of guided the whole thing was local control is the most efficient way, given the bureaucracy that the Board of Ed is. The Board of Education has a very difficult time relating to local schools. They make policies that are supposed to go to every school, and every school is not the same. And that is where your LSC and your principal come into play. Your LSC and your principal take the school where it's at, they develop the plan for improvement, and they gauge their success based upon that. The LSC is supposed to hold the principal to the plan and to the success ratio, and if she or he is not successful, they need to move on. I will tell you candidly, Budlong School had a principal for almost 40 years. The progress that school has made is negligible in the last 20 years. And so they're in the process now of appointing new people. Hopefully that appointment process will bring someone who's dynamic, and they will begin to improve. The Board of Education, and it's not a great thing to say, but it is a reality. The Board of Education as an entity is not always your friend when you are working for school improvement. And I can point to a number of reasons that that's the case. But take Northside College Prep as the case in point. Northside College Prep is the #1 school in the state of Illinois. You almost never hear anybody at the Board of Education mention Northside College Prep. They work actively to try and dummy it down every year. They make it very difficult for them to pick people that on a selective enrollment school. They are constantly pushing down the selective enrollment portion of it. And the fact of the matter is schools like that are an embarrassment to a system, because rather than duplicate that school, it's easier to lower that school, and then the expectation level of parents becomes less. And so you have to understand that part of the problem and part of the issue is that at the local level, you are the primary mover for change. In my opinion, the local elected official's job is to try and facilitate access to assets and to things that the school determines they need. That's the primary job of an elected official. And that's at the state level as well as the city level. The state has taken itself out of the business of helping local schools to a great extent when they went away from giving members essentially member money. Members used to get an amount of money that they could designate to schools. That has stopped in the last few years, and the capital bill has not been really forthcoming from Springfield. The city of Chicago in the last 20 years has been the primary and factually only real builder of schools, improver of schools, in terms of dollars and cents that's existed. And so I've always felt that our job was to provide the environment, the physical environment, the capital improvements, the things that need to be done for the school. It is the job of the principal and the local school council to set their goals and achieve those goals. It's our job to help ensure the safety around the school, working with local police commanders, working with the school patrol. They have a whole patrol of police officers that are dedicated to school safety, so it doesn't have to just go on the local district. Accessing those as assets are our job. But the vision is not for the aldermen to say this is how this school is going to function. It's to just accommodate and help accelerate the improvement.